Quick story, right? About 3 years ago, right? I was doing mechanical engineering technology, and I had this teacher that was also an advisor and a manufacturing major, and he saw that I was doing really good in his class, right? I was very interested in his class, and he was like, "Mark, why don't you switch to my department, which is manufacturing engineering or construction management, right?" So I was like, "I'll think about it." All right, that same semester, right? I went to a career fair, right? So I went to the career fair, and then I was talking to one of those aerospace company that was right next to my house. I was very interested in that aerospace company, right? And then as I'm talking to the guy, he was like, "Wow, you sound very smart. Do you have a resume?" I give him my resume, and then I shook his hand, and then he was like, "What's your GPA?" I told him it was a low two, and he looked at me in the face. He was like, "Even if I wanted to hire you, HR wouldn't let me." So I was very mad. I was very mad at myself for letting myself having a bad GPA like that. Although I was working 40 to 60 hours a week just so I could cut down my loans, right? I was very mad at myself. So what I ended up doing is I was so mad that it opens door for me. I took that rejection and then pushed myself, right? So that same semester I switched to manufacturing and engineering management, and I never looked back. That advisor that saw the potential in me, right, that was willing to help me, this dude did everything for me, right? He made sure that all my classes transfer. He made sure that what else? He made sure that I was doing great in class. He gave me my first internship. He gave me my second internship, which is the company, aerospace company that I'm working with right now. And he was the one that went to Singapore with me. He was the one that went to China with me. He was the one that went to what was the last place we went to? Shenzhen with me. So the whole thing is that when you have rejection, don't let it bring you down. If you're mad because somebody rejected you, it should be on yourself. Put it on yourself so that you could do better. Don't be mad at the guy, for rejecting you. So that's what I ended up doing. I took that rejection and then put it on myself and then worked my way up. I went from a two, I think it was like a two or 2.2 something, right? All the way to a 3.05 in less than 3 semesters. God knows how hard that was. That was very hard. We're still working about 40 hours a week. It was a very difficult task. But guess what? I got it done. I got my GPA to a 3.04 by the time, I graduated, got the best internship in Connecticut, working for with one of the best company in Connecticut. And why? Because that one guy rejected me. And I want to thank that one guy, for because if it wasn't because of him, I would have probably still be struggling, or I would have graduated with a very low GPA, and I wouldn't be able to find a job nowadays. And so basically, before I leave, I just want to let you guys know, if you have any question about college and yeah, financial aid or whatever that's relating to the real life, the college experience, stuff like that, don't be afraid to message me, and I'll answer all the questions.